It's called Mirage, but this is no illusion. We're continuing things on. 9 Pandas and TSM to fight things out, and it's double dualies to start things out for the Pandas side. I'm very curious about how TSM wants to deal with this, as they are going for what looks like a beeline down B. Maybe that's why it's called a beeline.
Almost certainly could be the reason, but Glowing out in the open, getting run over by the Glock train that was ahead of him. He's trying his best to hold on to this B bomb site, but struggling on his fight as well. Only good for the one, and Zyphon even walking through the smoke towards Market, cutting these rotations high and dry, only leaving Ida's balance on his dualies. He might have 2 pistols, but he's got no teammates to speak of.
And no chance pretty much. Zyphon, some impressive entries coming through. Obviously, one of the players who from the Copenhagen Flames project who it felt like was somewhat left behind, but has been hoping that TSM can be his new forever home in that regard. I don't know why I turned him into a pet right there, Michael, but yeah.
Yeah.
Foster days.
Yeah, he did come back at least through that. I mean, Sprout was the first organization that really felt like it had sort of grabbed hold of him, and you know, even then they had him for a little bit, they put him on the bench, they brought him back, and then we found him in this forever home potentially. So it's been a bit of a tumultuous journey for Zyphon, with all of his teammates having their highs and lows. You know, some of them winning big trophies, some very impressive trophies to add to the cabinet. Meanwhile, you know, he's been a part of projects that don't feel like they've quite had an identity. And I think that's been part of the problem for TSM in the early stages. So it's nice that they come in very strong on this first map. Very dominating pistol. And it is all USPs. There was a bit of team damage at the start of this round. That's how Glowing has 64 health. But they've gone for a B-sided stack, as do TSM have all of their players gravitated that side of the map. So the stack's in the right place.
Listen, I like what Val is calling. Guys, there's only really one site that you need to worry about, and that's B. As long as you're using a lot of utility over here, you should still be fine, but the problem is they don't actually have too many flashes, so the USPs have a chance, but the Zeus is misseized. Was hoping to get frisky with lightning. Instead, his teammates have fallen down, and out they go. Not a single casualty, and a comfortable win with Valde picking up some extra cash in the spell as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's so nice that you're able to have a second round like that, especially when you have 4 rifles. You know, those types of investments, if you're not able to get your hands back on those rifles again, it means that when you go into this first gun, it does feel a little lackluster. But even just holding on to this SMG and having these Galils makes the prospect of not investing into head armor, as many of the 9 Pandas players have not, a little bit more dangerous. You know, you're put into one-shot headshot territory. The SMG can immediately headshot you, and it feels awful when it happens to you. TSM are probably going to move in with some pace, given that they still have that SMG in their arsenal.
Ida's balance forced off, and this AUG will be called to order soon. Quacks on the other side. Those already found the first. Quirts runs out. No teammates nearby. Scaling's a bit slow, but at least Valde and Zyphon are there with the trades. Deladez hoping to come out big while the bomb is making its way over. Deladez is able to take it down and bring it back to a 3v3. These smokes will start dissipating soon, and with that, it'll make things a bit more tricky for TSM to actually scale onto the site. These fast plays that they're going for now will be forced to reset down and play for the mid-round.
They do have another smoke, so they can bridge the gap if they decide that they want to still contact upper from ramp. But the fact that that bomb is just out in the open, and it's open sightlines for these CTs to keep tabs on it, does make things a little bit more difficult. There's that smoke into jungle. Threatens the prospect of a cross. Glowing not affected by the flash and still holding his position close side triple. Poison does get his hands back on that bomb, but Dylan is peeking above stairs, and they're just waiting for someone to have swung from CT or from triple. But finally Glowing activates, finds his first, and drops that bomb once again. He should know that Valde is nearby, but Zyphon, his position totally revealed as well. Valde hitting an absolute blinder shot. Didn't have the health to trade, but played that headshot angle, and TSM get away with a third.
Gotta say, man, Valde was always one of those IGLs that felt like he was somewhat propped up by his fragging ability more than anything else. But honestly, in today's day and age, if you can still frag out like an IGL can, it'll take you very, very far. So that mid-round placement is very important.
I mean, the thing is, you know, that execute from TSM, it felt like it was pretty well timed, but I think it was, I can't remember who it was on stairs that actually blocked the smoke that went into jungle. It just meant that those players rotated rotating in could just start gunning them from not only the jungle position, also bottom side stairs. So, I mean, nice setup from 9 Pandas to disrupt that, but they're unfortunately getting a few too many hands on weapons at the early stages of this round. Nice push towards Ramp and Palace gets their access, or at least gets them access into a couple of rifles, but they don't really know about this player still tucked to the back of the side. Idis balanced, able to stop the plant, and this makes it really hard for TSM now.
Keeps himself alive as well, and now rotations coming in from the CTs. Market Molotov has run out, so now by the time they even start to get onto the site again, it'll be tough days for them to come. Smoke up for the market window, they're lined up, but it won't matter. Klax hits the shot, and with the Molotov on the site, the bomb cannot be recovered. Joel burning in the flames, forced back, can't take these duels. Now planting for sure, and fully commits the first time over. Klax sidelines it though. No, the bomb will be planted. TSM won't be able to get away with the round. A big misstep overlooking the back of the bench site. And I've got to say, Michael, these really fast hits that TSM are going for do feel a little bit coin flippy. It feels like eventually you are going to end up losing a few of these, especially if you're not clearing out the site like that before planting.
I mean, it also just didn't feel like they were really committed to that philosophy at the start of the round. They were going for like an aggro default with one player Palace just holding defensive, another one sort of probing towards ramp, especially after the Palace player took contact, just trying to get some space back and, you know, contain the potential aggression. But once they lost those two players, yeah, I mean, it just was a much faster barreling into that B bomb side, just hoping that it was a complete stack on the A side, but it was Idis balance, and oof, there goes Zyphon. A lovely shot to start this round off.
Very risky peek, could have been an op on the other side, but he's able to get the fruits of his labor twice over. Glowing down as well, be short, uncontested. Now Klax finally able to take him down, but it feels like the amount of ground he has gained as well as the advantage given is more than worth it. Sure, TSM don't have the best firepower remaining with the Galila, the deagle, but honestly in the 4v3 it feels like it shouldn't matter.
Well, there's nobody actually in the A bomb site, so them creeping out from ramp like this should be uncontested, but they are piecing it together here, 9 Pandas. Got a forward push via seized, and Klax is looking to rotate in through spawn, but he shouldn't be able to deny the plant. No one's in a great spot to do it.
Klax might be peeking out first. It's too early. Quirtz takes him down. Wasn't really quite ready for the lower verticality peak. Was worried about a Palace player more than anything else, but it feels like 9 Pandas will have to save these remaining rifles. It's just the speed, man. Honestly. These rounds are so fast.
Yeah, I mean that's just all Zyphon taking space and ripping heads. So good, that's great news for TSM. Only really had that, what 2 rifles coming into this round, but
yeah,
just marvelous stuff there on the entry. They get their hands on some of these rifles again. He's looking for a couple of exits and does hit the headshot. There's another player looking to chase, and Valde leaps over the fence to find him. So a 1-for-1, and it was of more value for C's to have held onto that rifle than to have taken a rifle away from TSM. Their buy is not going to be as pristine as it could have been.
Fortunately, it is still propped up by the fact that they won in the half buy, so you're able to pull out pretty much a full buy. You sure might be missing some bells and whistles and a rifle and seized, but it's not the end of the world.
That was his rifle he lost.
He deserves to be on a UMP then. There you go.
Yeah. That's what you get.
Once again, game plan is the same. Fast play out towards A, full execute, Molotov, smokes galore, the util all over the floor, and Klax fully blinded. This time will be cleared. Quirtz won't let him get the better of him twice over. The nade gives Idis balance a chance, but it's an opportunity squandered. Bomb can be planted, Quirtz still not dead, and all the nades the CTs are using will not help them get a retake. They have given up on this round. At least that's what it feels like. Moving back for the 4-man save, TSM, again, the speed is just overwhelming.
I love this. They're just going with very simple, I mean, very replicatable Counter-Strike. Just straight up hits on the bomb sites, just overwhelming with utility. You know, 9 Pandas are trying to almost anticipate a shift or a tone change from TSM. You know, so many teams when you see them on T side Mirage, they're very systematic. You know, take mid control, throw a bit of presence, you know, make sure that AWPer can't just sit inside of window and get clear information. They can't push top mid clearly, but TSM are just sticking to side executes, and right now 9 Pandas are not on the right setups really to address it properly.
I do wonder, and look, this is the cynic in me, okay? This is the skeptic in me.
Sure.
I do wonder if this is just TSM internally thinking, and look, to be honest, I like it if it is. It's just them internally saying, you know what, we don't actually have the structure to properly mid-round things out the way that would be ideal. So let's just prioritize speed, because we know we've got some really skilled players individually. So let's go speed, and then when we've got our bomb plant down, hopefully we'll have an advantage. Hopefully we can figure things out.
Yeah, I mean, that could certainly be a part of it. You know, this is also the first time that many of these players are interacting with players from different cultures or regions, so, you know, let alone hard enough communicating in English, but then also making sure that everyone's communicating clearly. Sometimes it's just, if you call simple buzzwords, life can be a lot simpler as well. But this is a much faster round, again, from TSM. This time they're going up through short for a quick B-side assault. Joel floored as that first man in, but the bomb wasn't actually going to hazard the same journey up through short, so TSM have pumped the brakes.
Oh, Molotov will be forcing C's backwards, so they've got a decent idea of what's going on over here. The CTs cannot rotate despite the fact that they've got 2 players aggressively in A main. But with a 5v3 found early on, courtesy of Dillides, his first kill as well. Glowing will end up falling. Zyphon lurks all the way through, and C's will be rotating back in. They thought it's clear. Van still has 1 member remaining, and that C's with the UMP will be able to reload as well. Valde simply can't cut him down, but Seized, foot exposed, taken down. Quack's not ready. Zyphon is a menace. A menace with utility at that. And as Valde pops down the bomb, gets himself in a good position as well to actually defend it, but can't find the kill.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Zyphon is doing so much in finding these multi-kills. That tap and hold from Valde actually felt like a very solid play, but he just needed to hit the shot, and that's where the round really breaks down. Good address from 9 Pandas, finding that first player just barreling up of short. TSM, this time they just can't go in with that same pace. Even though the call seemed like they wanted to go fast, they had to slow things down, and by then 9 Pandas were able to get a little bit more situated, even though, you know, Zyphon still found that timing on short.
He's not able to see the crossover, but at least Klax is there. Idis Balance gets the follow-up. Valde down. And playing this front-facing early contact style into A ramp is fun, right? If they're going to be going for these A executes that they have prioritized, you will end up getting at least a kill or 2 and having a chance to fight before the smokes are down, which feels like a very vital thing for 9 Pandas to have.
It's also quite interesting, you know, the style of Counter-Strike that TSM are playing. I mean, it's very engaging, I think. You know, there's sometimes you watch teams that are default
engaging as a viewer.
I mean, even engaging to play. You know, if you know you're going to have fights in the first 45 seconds, your brain is, you know, wired to think, okay, we're hunting for these duels. We're not scared of them. But there's so many teams that play like slow default into late execute or, you know, explosive mid round, and that can be fun as well. But there is a lot of dead time in there. So, you know, I'm just thinking about some of the previous experiences that some of these players on TSM have had on their rosters, and quite a few of them play a very similar sort of explosive dynamic.
Idis Balance. He likes slower rounds. He likes slower peaks, and it feels like he's playing in slow motion because everyone is just falling down. Joel crossing over. He's going to be speeding things up, though, and that'll give them access to a bomb plant, potentially. Clock is ticking down low, and with Glowing popping open the smoke, he was hoping that the plant would be in a position where he can punish, but a default plant gives them safety galore. Glowing, though, almost finding poison is 3 HP, but that's all he needs to return fire with the AWP. I'm surprised Seized is considering this. Doesn't feel like a chance that he has in this round. Smoke short, Kit's in front of him, but no kills really to be found. He's hoping for a head to be popped off, but Poison's being very diligent, crouching away consistently, doesn't want to expose himself to this very angle where your head will be visible.
Yeah, Poison escaping, and knows he's missed his window if there was ever going to be a chance for this. Joel shooting at Ghost, but he heard those steps of C's, and I mean that's the most impact we've seen from Joel so far on this T side. He was at 1 kill before, but he finds 3 great ones coming up through connector, past those smokes, and wrapping the A bomb site. Even though it looked like a couple of his players were very ready to sort of address his progression, just tore their heads clean off. Really nicely handled. And that was after, you know, the opener from 9 Pandas actually looked quite great. You know, they're still able to stop some of the early defaulting. But a good mid-round adjustment. Good play made. It'll be quite upsetting to lose a round like that, considering how it almost felt like they were never in the right positions to succeed before on CT, and now they get a round that, you know, develops quite nicely for them off of their initial game plan, and it blows up in their face later on.
Seems like they're going for another play to insert Zyphon in aggressively. This time he starts on the A side. Valde is threatening middle, and they reset backwards. TSM, aware of the potentially difficult economy that their opponents might have, and they've already fallen short to a half by once before. They don't want to have that doubled over, especially when there is that saved AWP as well, though I don't think C's actually revealed that one.
Yeah, I mean, they might know that one ult was saved, but they wouldn't have expected another ult to have been bought into by 9 Pandas. So things could still get weird here.
Does still feel like a late A hit on a contact is the only play they can go for. A single smoke is all Poison has, and that might be reserved for the bomb planter or something like it. Valde, if he wants to contact in late into middle, you have to contend with the seized AWP as well, and Clax at close range with the Eagle will be deadly if there isn't a flash to turn him off the angle. All is coming through. Call's been made. Ida's balance hits the first shot, but Clax is the one to actually find the kill. Straight to the head. He's peeking out again. Clax able to get 2. That's why you need the flashes. Delades as well. Nearby. Tagged up, sure, but the tag won't matter. Poison all alone. Forced back, and again, TSM fall to the half bites.
Oh my goodness. How many times is this going to happen in the same game? I mean, TSM have had at least one go their way as well. But 9 Pandas now striking twice, and, you know, it was barely the AWPs that seemed to do it. And a lovely little bait as well to find Poison just as the round is concluding. That's a rough way to lose a round. And once again, a chance for 9 Pandas to sort of bounce right back here on the CT side and maybe even, you know, tie up the scoreline before we think about that second half. With where the loss bonus is, this is kind of like the best buy I think TSM are going to really muster together unless they take some hard saves.
Hey, when in doubt, go back to the B-bomb side. That seems to be the game plan, at least right now. Quick little walk stick boost up for Glowing as well. He puts himself in a good position to try and hide away, and sees will be hearing the fact that they've moved past the Molotov. He's picked up another molly in the meanwhile. Nades, mollies, he's got the works, but Glowing's not able to stop Joel from jumping down. Joel taken down by Seized. Glowing nearby had held his trigger, but only good for the one. Still, Seized is doing work at the back of this B bomb site, and with Valde's lurk turned ineffective, 9 Pandas should be able to chain together a successive round.
This was perfectly done. But it's all about actually closing these rounds out. Court's trying his best to try and fish for an extra kill before he even thinks about recovering that package. But Seized on his AWP not only played distraction, but then also feasted for 3 frags. I wasn't sure that we were going to get many sort of rounds where Seized would have impact on that secondary AWP, but showing us some great work. Even though he got caught off guard by how fast Joel was progressing in the apartments, it sold the fact that there was nobody on the top side of B, or it was sort of boosted into those apartments so early.
And to be honest,
it worked out wonderfully.
Even though he was playing distraction for glowing, you're right, it did feel like glowing was a distraction more than anything else, right? The fact that he didn't take down Joel early on, they're not ready for him, and then they're sort of floundering around. The op can pick them off one by one again. Yeah, great round from Seized and glowing put together.
Couldn't have asked for better timing to go for that boost.
Speaking of timing, they're going to need a pretty damn good timing to get a bomb plant down over here. There is an AK in the back of the site, and that's going to be spotting them all coming out. Clax can just clean them up. There's no flashes, there's no nothing. This is very much an aimbot's round.
Yeah, nice clean shooting here from Clax to stop them getting a plant. This is the thing, you know, this is one of the problems that they would have had, is that they really did feel like they needed a bomb plant, even in that last round. If you know, Diladez had, or sorry, not Diladez, Quartz had been able to get a plant in that 1 versus 3, it would have helped them quite a lot in getting an AWP out potentially. You know, make sure they have every bell and whistle, but yeah, this buy ain't much prettier than that AWP hold from Seized that previous round. It's just kind of crazy to think you had so much success on these burst executes, and they stopped doing them. Nine Pandas have now found a bit of a winning solution, now forcing duels while they're setting up on that default. A nice 1-for-1 start off the round. Nine Pandas even aggressing on both sides, both extremities. No housing is going to be vacant enough, but glowing over pushing, even though he had the bomb.
That's insane. Genuine insanity, but Valdo is hoping for a little bit of unwellness himself, but unfortunately for him, it's really just going to be sent back to the doctor. Poison, 1-on-3, a map where he doesn't feel like he's necessarily shown his best so far, and this would be a great time to shine before you move into the CT half. Finds the first kill, makes it quick. And now in the 1-on-2, both players isolated. You are just a quick kill away, but you're contesting down the AWP and making plenty of noise as you do it. Idis Balance catches him off, and Nine Pandas equalize 6-6 as we go to a break to see what lies in store in the second. We don't believe in breaks, we only believe in breaking spirits, and Nine Pandas might have had their spirits disturbed, already losing one off stream in the start of the pistol round. That looks like it was a clean shot from Quartz. Sure, headshots exchanged, but USP always wins that one out.
I kind of like that you know, you're mentioning spirit, and then we just had magic staring at us.
Yeah.
So that was really well done. Bit of a shame we missed out on that first kill, but seemed like Nine Pandas were going to do something towards that A-bomb site, but have been turned to the other direction as a result of finding no significant trade. Quartz is tagged up, but they do have the util to burst into this B-bomb site. 2 smokes that Seized is lining up for his teammates to try and get some room. Meanwhile, they still have that lurk on the A play as well. Ooh, missed Molly. That was supposed to be destined for bench, but they weren't quite sold that it was actually going to be a B finish. Valde even had his teammate rotating away from the bomb site, but now they find Impact. This lurk from Idis Balance finding his kill, but he's now funneled off, leaving Seized all alone with the bomb on his back. He can secure a plant for Nine Pandas, but winning the round will still be difficult.
Some people say winning the round after this one is better anyway, so Seized just big brain. Now he's going to get 2 kills, get some more money, so he can pick up the AK. Yeah. Of course, he is going to be aiming for the round win with Quartz low, Zyphon also a little bit strained. I say that, but he has had the hottest hand in the server so far. I don't think there's any doubts about that.
It just looks very calm when he's taking his fight so far. So, I mean, great to see Zyphon sort of blazing a bit of a trail for TSM. Feels like the most significant, I mean, most substantial rounds were based on him. But we'll be back after a break because that pistol was just a little bit of a palate cleanser.
Normally I say that we're heading into the second half, but the second half has already started. Guys, listen, trust me, we know. You know, we don't talk about it. There you go. Nine Pandas losing out.
It's not like we missed it entirely,
That's
so it's
true.
fine.
It is true, but Nine Pandas did miss the pistol round win. But they got the bomb plant at the very least, which is why you can pull out a better buy. That being said, who goes for a scout? Man, Itis Balance, you better be cooking.
I love a scout purchase on force buy rounds.
On T side?
Yeah, even on T side. Maybe not for this pick. Be very difficult. Klax's Galil seems better served and better suited for its purpose. Stopping an aggressive move from TSM to start off.
They have 4 players on the A side on TSM, and they're all aggressive on A. This would be the most successful B rush call you've ever seen in your life, if it had been. But no. Poison's also only got an MP9 on that B side, so yeah.
Glowing's coming to recover a gun because he only had a Deagle, so there's a Galil that has been ferried over by Klax. So this is a very well-equipped secondary force buy round from 9 Pandas, especially now that they have that man advantage. They have all this time still on the clock where they can decide their finish.
And full utility, let's not forget, you've got 2 smokes, well, full as it gets, and a force buy.
Mm-hmm.
And with 3 players still on that A site, the lean is going to be problematic. Mid smokes come through. This could be either side finish, honestly. And with 45 seconds left, it does feel like 9 Pandas might make the mistake of heading into A. But they decide against it. They have had a revelation. And that revelation is to go to the B site.
Yeah, only the SMG of Poison to try and deter them, so they don't fall into the trap that TSM had laid out from the very start of the round. Poison needs to get away with a multi-kill if they want any chance of going back into this retake. First kill in, but the flash makes it that much more difficult to find that multi-kill. And TSM realize that they have stacked the wrong side of the map. 9 Pandas finding the right finish to disrupt after losing pistol.
TSM's going to have to save immediately afterwards, and it seems like that was the game plan from the very beginning. I wonder if this is just the response that they have been thinking up to the second round force buy from the T side, that you decide to save as fast as you can. Just that, hey, go aggressive. If you win out the first duels, then we can play for the round win. Otherwise, you know what, go for the save. Which is kind of silly when you say it out like that, but maybe it is just how they feel like you have to deal with it.
Yeah, it kind of sucks as well that, you know, unfortunately, the secondary player that was pushing into Palace didn't actually hunt for that trade as aggressively as maybe they had initially planned. You know, the spacing maybe felt a little bit off, and the timing was weird. And so, you know, both of them had M4s, but they kind of allow access for 9 Pandas to get their hands on another weapon when there are still SMGs floating around the TSM arsenal. So, for them, even with them making that call, it does feel pretty bad to suddenly just have one of those rifles plucked away by your opponents. But great job from Klax, you know, finding that kill and then getting his teammate equipped as well.
What is this smoke? Is that a smoke? Is that just randomly pointing at things?
I feel like that if that is a smoke, it's the Strauss top mid smoke?
The device smoke, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye out. No, never. It is a smoke. Okay. Because they could get aggressive down middle with their 2 M4s if that's the plan. And honestly, with how many early round plays that TSM was going for, I wouldn't hate it, right? So, yep, you seem to be right, Michael. That is indeed, no, not quite, but it is a smoke that makes it so you can't actually see the players without crossing over to the left side of the top mid cart.
Interesting.
That's quite nice. I think it's even setting up a one-way coming up for Valde. So they've got a lot of mid control, but the problem is it's an A-sided execute to come through from 9 Pandas. Do TSM have the adjustment?
Well, there's a lot of util that's sent out, but they actually delayed their flashes. Glowing getting out from Palace and just leaping over that player, still tucked underneath balcony. Of course, trying to find the right timing and sneak his way out from what is a swarmed position, but they don't seem to have any clue that he's actually tucked himself away like this.
Schwartz is playing for the late round. Now he moves past it, in he goes, but Dylan is able to take him down. Only 4 HP short, but he's more than okay with it. Thank you, Val, for nerfing the Deagle. And although TSM did look like they were in a position to sneak out and get a shank out, but feels like they've just been removed from the contention of this round.
Oh, God. That is a very, very ugly scenario to find yourself in. Felt like Quartz had every advantage. Dilladaz was even deploying utility, kind of setting up for his, I think his teammate to sort of peek from stairs. He was throwing a flash. And that was Quartz's time. Like you said, it's a result of that Deagle being nerfed all those moons ago. From being able to just shoot 2 tags to the body. You need a 3rd these days.
Does feel like the wrong weapon for a situation like that, but I doubt he was prepared for, you know, being shrouded in a smoke for 20 seconds before he moves down, right?
Yeah.
I really like the play from TSM early on, but unfortunately when that doesn't work out, plan B isn't really there for them. And that doesn't seem too different from what we saw on the T side either.
Like this would have been a great round almost to try something like it. Get a couple of players playing to those top mid boxes, you know, address and fight what is basically all the 9 Pandas players, bar 1. They're just crawling their way up through short, but there is a D-sided stack. The thing is, they're not very well equipped to actually deal with this. That rifle was left to its own devices, it pushed through Palace, and it's simply on the wrong side of the map. Only extra kill that could be found is by Poison on that boost, but he fired too soon. Shot too early.
Well.
Uh-oh. Well, that's very awkward for Valde, because they have a very fanned out hunting dispersal of players, so had he been able to get himself to those top mid boxes, maybe there was a chance he could have swiftly sort of darted away with that M4, but no saves for TSM. They come into the second half, winning the pistol, and quite handily, but ever since, 9 Pandas have reasserted themselves.
Look, this is the first proper buy coming out from TSM where it does feel like they're on even territory, even if they don't have the AWP. Let's see what they can actually offer something again. It's the same smoke that we saw before, or rather didn't see on our screens, but now we have an idea of what the game plan is for mid. Poison's able to move past the first, but as he realized there's another crossing over, it's glowing inside the smoke. He has circumnavigated it around it instead. Poison's ready for this peak, but he's not ready for the sharpness of Glowing's aim. 4-on-3 now.
It's a really cool way to take mid-control as a CT side. And we finally get to see it in action. The man advantage found here for TSM, but Klax has crept his way out towards Sandwich. They're meeting 0 resistance on the A-bomb side itself, so attention should be raised to jungle, or the potential of a connector-sided stack for TSM, given that they wanted to fight for that mid-control so early. Free enough plant. But this fight towards jungle is very important. Zyphon flooring the first and running out of ammo was Klax up close, so Valde's trade is simple. Zydus balance in a 1-on-3. And they do not have a kit here on the CT side, just looking for that bomb, trying to hunt for it, but Quartz there. As soon as Zydus balance reveals his location, Quartz has him dialed in. TSM of successful retake on the A play.
Very nice to see, but unfortunately for them, they will still have the specter of economy hunting, or rather haunting them down in the next one. Great retake, could have been a little bit different. Like you said, there wasn't really that kit either, but Quartz able to find a crucial frag. I'm more worried about what comes now. If you can't win this round, 9 Pandas could still run away with things. This is the crucial must-win situation for TSM.
Yeah, there aren't hard resets to your economy anymore, right? You know, once upon a time, you know, win one round and then all of a sudden your loss bonus is completely reset. But the very idea of, you know, winning a round and then losing the next, you know, your economy is so fickle on that CT side anyway that it can feel almost just as punishing. You know, it almost engages into an extra 2 rounds to follow. So this is very important for TSM to try and get a handle back on this game.
Sees knows that Valde is nestled away here. Baldy doesn't have any reason to peek out, though. That's the issue. If you've got a Molotov, maybe you use it to try and displace him, but then you are opening up the risk of being shot down. So he calls I disbalance over. Molly out for Valdez. Taken down. There you have it. Dotting your I's, crossing your T's, killing your Valdez. That's how the saying goes, right? Maybe not.
Something along those lines.
Quartz is hoping he's not a part of the saying, though. He's not a metaphorical man. He's a man of a physicality, and he believes in his gun. Dalades moves past. I think he might have spotted just a foot for Quartz, when Quartz isn't going to be prepared for it at all. I disbalance spots him out as well, but the shot's been missed. Smoke out for Quartz will actually buy him a lot of space, because otherwise Dalades was going to be able to move around and take him down. Still could be just a quick little peekaboo situation, but with all the T side being relocated back to B and TSM having no intention of rotating, Quartz is not prepared at all. TSM will be forced to save.
And save they'll try. Poison, AWP crossing in from triple. Glowing's already set up on that hunt, and Poison is pinned. Trapped in his location. They really want to get these weapons out of the hands of TSM to make this a very punishing round. And the Molotovs and the smoke. Poison trying to escape. And won't actually get into the cover of his teammates, but he's finally found. This is, I mean, a really nice looking round from 9 Pandas, but also this hunt is just devastating. About how many they get away with and how many they keep alive. Joel tags up. That AWP taken into Joel's hands, but yeah, I mean, they know exactly where he is, and it's between a rock and a hard place. 9 Pandas up to a 10th round. And, you know, this is another situation where TSM started off with that 3-man setup over towards the A side, but they're very committed to that one philosophy that they leave a lot of responsibility onto Quartz. You see how uncomfortable he is. He understands that he could be flanked in from window. He understands that he has to worry about 3 potential avenues into the B bomb site, but unfortunately he misses the timing to sort of reveal what what 9 Pandas had cooked up on some of those flanks.
Yeah, the thing is that if you're going to go for these... Oh, fast play out. Not able to get the frag, but still, if you're going to go for these abandoned mid plays, you have to rotate quickly. That's always a rule. Get info and rotate fast.
But they also, I mean, that's part of the thing, is that if you're going to go for those plays and nothing really culminates from it, a lot of teams, you know, will have a 2 or 3-man push to hunt for that information, but TSM were very static.
Yeah.
I felt like at a certain timer you had to call for that play, but
yeah,
nobody did. Well, this is certainly an interesting way to play out the low buy, or really, I guess, the no buy. 3 men inside of ladder room.
Michael, what do you call 3 men in a ladder room?
I have no idea.
A ladder.
They were gonna say like janitors or something. Or
No,
like
no.
technicians.
They're just a ladder.
Yeah. Right. Ooh.
Nice shot from Quartz, gotta say. You don't see that every day with the Deagle. Tough angle.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not even about your aim, it's just like the variance of the gun. So
yeah. That sounds like copium to me, Michael, but okay.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Well, regardless, Valde may be able to get another kill. $300 in the bag and a nice little cinematic angle of his death. Why not?
Didn't even give them the money, so, you know, perfectly timed from Valde.
Yeah, biggest brain in Denmark after about 7 others.
Yeah, there's too many big brains in Denmark, unfortunately. This brain's gonna be put to use. Calling a timeout. They know that they are... I mean, this is their last real investment. Otherwise, 9 Pandas run away with this game. TSM have not had the same safety net on the CT side of being able to win some of these low-buy rounds. Felt like a big reason as to why 9 Pandas were able to sort of stabilize themselves on the defense. TSM are in a bit of a pickle. I liked what we saw from some of their aggressive mid takes. Felt like that one kill that Poison was able to get when we saw it actually sort of manifest into a frag. Felt very favorable, very one-sided. You know, had they had more players there, and you know, that's why you see so many teams actually go for a CT side where they're aggressive into middle. I think Spirit are the most famous for it at the moment. Is that even if you take the bomb sites, that you can be very fast to reassert yourself, especially if it's going to be an A-sided finish.
Wow, this 3-0-2 setup is something they're really intent on, huh?
Well, it might work out for them this time, because Pandas, even though they're exploring mid, there's only 2 players here that are looking and hoping to link up, I imagine, with these A players just sat outside of ramp.
Quartz is in a good position to actually contest in the middle as well, theoretically. Will be taken down, sure, but he does contest. With the first kill coming out towards the B-bomb side, they might want to start to look away, but in the meanwhile, Zyphon and Poison strike through, seized, caught out as well, trying to lurk through. Dilladez has to come up big. Zyphon's on the other side. He's got full audio of it. But as Glowing starts to move in through Connector himself, that'll be the rotate called over from Valde. They're on a timer, but the timer for Joel runs out first, and so does Zyphon as he hits the floor. Valde, 1-on-2 for him. He was hoping to have a little bit more assistance from his teammates and was hoping they'd stay alive for a while longer, but instead, the T's are expecting rotation coming out from CT spawn. Valde unable to find anything on the wall bank either. A quick double swing could be in order. Dilladez head spin, given a little bit of tapping to, knocked down. Keeps himself alive, but Valde continues to deal damage more and more. He knows he's got no chance in this game if he doesn't win out the clutch. Got that 9 Pandas be on a 12 with no money on the CT side, but feels like that's what it's destined to be regardless.
Yeah, I mean, really nice job there from 9 Pandas picking that one apart. As soon as they knew there were 2 players committed to very similar positions on that A-bomb side, that Molotov flushing them out into the open. They deal with both those players, and Valde's in a very tough position. And once they figure out he's coming in from jungle, just crossing to triple and building a crossfire for that post plant, really well done, really well managed. It felt like their communication was clear in that moment. TSM, it's a bargain bucket buy, and unfortunately, this is not looking likely. Balance already picking off the first, and they know that there's the potential for them to have been through underpass. These SMGs just trying to pressure, but 9 Pandas are well aware. And they're absolutely hoofing it over towards the A-bomb site, because they've just lost too much control at B that it's basically impossible to justify going that direction.
Got late round execute onto the A site with these positions. It's going to be tough for any assistance to be offered up from Zyphon unless he just wants to swing out of the smokes. Glowing's taking map control quick, and Zyphon knows he's got no choice over here. At least Valde is good for the one. Zyphon needs to commit, and soon. But with the Molotov in front of the smokes at bench as well, how does he actually even look to fight? There's still more utility to come from the T's, and yes, the CTs have moved past the connector smoke, but all 3 of them are located in pretty much the same place, and with Zyphon revealing his position, the T's want to be staying away from it regardless. Flashbang overhead doesn't do much to Dilladez. He's able to get away regardless. Joel's been being quite noisy about his ascent back to CT, but he's not able to spot anyone out. They think it's clear. They don't know everyone's here. Joel finds one. In the meanwhile, Quartz turns around. The bomb is ticking. 10-second timer is given up. 13 for 9 Pandas, and despite their early question marks, they will still come through with a pretty smooth victory.
Yeah, I mean, there were some definite problems